What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again, and I have said it before, I will say it again, I will probably keep saying it until the heat death of the universe. Bungie knows how to cut one hell of a fucking trailer. Like, if Bungie put 1/4, 1/10, 1/5, 1 iota of the effort that they put in these trailers to sell these games into actually developing the games, holy fucking shit, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, we'd fucking have something. But I digress. So, now we've all seen this wonderful, immaculate gameplay trailer for Halo Beyond Light. For Destiny 2 Beyond Light, how any of that ends up translating into gameplay remains to be seen. There has been more than a few things that have been absolutely broken, or at least presented as absolutely broken in gameplay trailers that clearly have been filmed to be broken, because when they come out in the game, they're damn near worthless. But don't worry, I'm not here to hate on Destiny.
But Joker, you always hate on Destiny.
No. I'm not here to do that. Hell, my initial reaction to the Xbox Destiny 2 Beyond Light teaser trailer was, and I quote, Did Destiny just have a better showing on the Xbox stream than Halo? Also, PvP is fucked. Because let's be real, let's be honest. Let's be real honest. PvP is fucked. When people have to simp power creep this hard, you know shit's fucked. That said, with the caveat that this is a Bungie teaser trailer. This teaser trailer shows off not only new abilities, new supers, new ways to manipulate not just the player and the enemies, but gasp, shock, horror, lightning crackle, lightning crackle, lightning crackle, the environment. And given the fact that the premise of Beyond Light is not only are we getting these new super special awesome powers and abilities from the darkness.
Darkness, 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 darkness.
On with it. Yes, get on with it.
Darkness, 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 darkness.
Light. Light.
So are the Fallen of House, well, dark, which, if explored in any way that is remotely satisfactory, will be an amazing fucking concept. I mean, Fallen with Darkness Guardian-esque powers? What? What? That's fucking awesome. Who doesn't want that? It opens up so many fucking gameplay and narrative possibilities. It's insane. So yes, please, let's do that. That will be awesome. The Fallen having similar powers to us, especially darkness powers, after being, I don't know what you'd say, ostracized by the light, abandoned by the light. It's a really great concept that could lead to a really great narrative. That being said, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, hashtag make Mithrix a guardian. If Mithrix becomes the first Fallen Guardian, will anybody at all ever be surprised? No, I think they've pretty much set up for that, you know, with the whole House Light thing. But enough preamble, let's get into the teaser and break it down, something I don't think I've done in, well, forever. So the teaser starts off with our intrepid heroes wading through the snow towards what looks to be the Exostrangers base camp. The Exostranger being the planetary vendor here makes a lot of sense, given that the Drifter is in charge of Gambit and sits in the tower, and Erismorn is the vendor for the moon, and Shadowkeep isn't leaving when they do all the vaulting of content. So there is that. And now with the Exostranger here, potentially for at least a couple of years as a planetary vendor, well, I guess it's about time she conjured out of her plump little exo ass time to explain about having time to explain about time to explain about explaining shit and or fuck. Next we have Zoro from One Piece as the Kell of Kells, looking for the darkness and, well, setting sail for the titular One Piece. Like I said earlier, now that we have enemies that have power sets like our own, that could set up a lot of interesting combat loops. But I'm also reminded of Gull, who was little more than a big floaty boy with super spam and that was it, and that was boring, and that was dull, and it was probably one of the worst bosses that Bungie has ever come up with for Destiny. And then he got killed by the Traveler, so... But moving forward, as the trailer goes on, we get some nice skyboxes, some nice vistas, some nice scenery porn. Europa seems to be a lot like Venus, only ice, in the fact that it houses the Fallen and the Vex, which opens up a really interesting possibility that I haven't seen anyone talk about. So you've heard it here first. We all know that the Vault of Glass is returning to Destiny 2. One of the issues with bringing the Vault of Glass back, however, is that the first encounter takes place in the Venus social space. And I don't know if you've noticed, but they're not bringing back Venus. So how are they bringing back the Vault of Glass? Now, yeah, Bungie could start it after you've opened the door and you're kind of in that area, but that would be kind of stupid, unless the Vault of Glass's entrance is somewhere else. Like, I don't know, Europa? The teaser then brings us to our first super.
Beyond the light.
Hold on a second, I've seen this before. A Titan using a slam. Really? That's okay. Well, if you're gonna do one thing, might as well do it well, I guess. The teaser then flashes the word create, and here we get to see a complete and utter game changer for the Destiny franchise. This grenade gets thrown at a wall, and it creates platforms. Now, I would be lying if I said my initial reaction wasn't, oh my god, that's fucking cool. I mean, like, real talk. Imagine an entire fire team using that, or imagine an entire 6-man raid team using that to break the game. What's the catch? How is this going to break the game? And then, in the deep, dark pit of my stomach, horror, terror, unlike any other grabbed hold. I mean, think about it. Titan Barricade was nerfed because of how it affected gameplay. How it allowed people to slide in, throw up a barricade, and revive their teammates during Trials of Osiris. The Titan Bubble is a super, and it's a super for a reason because of how it changes the map and how you have to play around this said super. And now we have entire subclass abilities that are built around changing the play space. PvP is gonna be, well, you know how people get really pissy about how I run around with a shotgun and shoulder charge all the stuff and/or things, all the while pointing out the way that I play doesn't take a tremendous amount of skill, because no shit, Sherlock, it doesn't, but I enjoy playing that way because I enjoy shotguns and shoulder charge. Gasp, shock, horror. But with the addition of these new stasis abilities, can we all just kind of agree to quit acting like Destiny PvP is even remotely competitive or takes any skill whatsoever? I mean, it never has, more so when we have things like snipers with 90% aim assist and bullet magnetism, and ARs that have the fastest time to kill of any primary in the game. Yeah, that's not a skill-based matchmaking PvP experience by any stretch of the imagination, so let's just stop acting like it is. It's like the worst iteration of Super Smash Bros., but with extra steps. Shrill tremulous screaming on my part about PvP aside, I'm actually really down for this in PvE. There needed to be, and still needs to be, more ways for us to interact and change the world around us. Destiny is far too static, and our ability to even remotely enact our will on the world around us is far too limited, to the point of being virtually non-existent. And while it is extremely trite to say this about a franchise that has been going on for over half a decade at this point, this is a step in the right direction. The trailer then moves on to show us a Hunter Super, or at least a version of it, where it throws pickaxes in a way that's reminiscent of Blade Barrage, with an AoE and what even might be a damage over time effect. The teaser then moves on to show us the next mechanic of these abilities, the ability to encase. And we see just that as some fallen dregs are frozen, encased in ice. So it does exactly what it says on the label. And while one side of my brain is screaming, oh my god, that's gonna be so cool in PvE, the other side is going, holy fucking shit, that could get super annoying in PvP. I mean, just imagine, worst case scenario, getting frozen, but not dying and having to sit there, like the worst version of Tether ever imaginable. Which brings us to our next clip. Ooh boy times 2. So there's a lot to digest there. The hunter throws down this ice grenade, and it instantly builds a wall. This is a wall that the hunter can jump on top of, and it immediately gives them the high ground. This could actually be seriously overpowered in PvP. Remember when Witherhoard was released and all the corridors on every map were filled with nothing but Witherhoard AoE blocking off entry nade thingy mabobbers? Now, while nobody's gonna sit here and tell you that Witherhoard in and of itself is OP, the annoyance from just turning a corner and going, oh, okay, well, it's filled with Witherhoard splooge, I guess I'll take another path. Oh my god, that is just infuriating. And now imagine teams of hunters, because hunters are the most played class in all of PvP, just doing that all the time. And now imagine if other classes have abilities like that as well. And the maps become a clusterfuck of ice everywhere, Elsa's singing Let It Go, and PvP just becomes unplayable. Remember how the Titan Towering Barricade got nerfed because of the ability for players to pop out the shield while standing there in a locked animation so that they could go and maybe revive a teammate? This new hunter ability is a grenade that you can throw to wall off an area. So imagine hunters sitting around the corner, they see their teammate down, they throw this new grenade, and now they have full cover anytime they want it. Yeah, Trials, oof, just take it out of the game. Just take Trials out of the game again. Now, for all the annoying possibilities that this wall has for PvP, mind you, I'm just talking about PvP, not PvE. In PvE, this looks like it would be really, really cool to have. That's not the worst thing on display here. This is. This has to be staged, right? Right? They had to have like 1 health or something. They had to already be dead because I'm at a loss for words, honestly, about how broken that would be if they're at full health. Bungie's all like, we have to retire your gear because of my power creep. We don't want the game to become overpowered. And then we have shit like this. I mean, just watch this again. The hunter has a long-ranged melee that can bounce off multiple surfaces, suppressing these guardians in super on first contact and freezing them in place on second contact. I can't be watching that, right? No. Oh dear Lord God, no, why PvP is fucked. But moving forward onto the next mechanic, Shatter. I'll just let the clips play and comment what I think after they're done. So we have these new mechanics, Encase and Shatter, on display here as the new gameplay loop. And if what's going on is what I think is going on, this is actually very reminiscent of Anthem's combo system. So these abilities might actually be more co-op than anything we've actually ever seen in Destiny. One player primes the enemy by encasing them with encase abilities, and the other deals damage with Shatter abilities. And I assume that that damage will be increased like the Anthem combo system when both parts of the combo are in effect. But it might not just be abilities that contribute to this new gameplay loop, since the trailer moves on to tell us to wield stasis. And since stasis is a new damage type, it's only natural that weapons will be outfitted with it as well. Who knows, maybe even Coldheart will be retroactively changed. Here in this image, we see this new exotic, or what I assume is a new exotic, shooting a chunk of ice. But I wonder what it does, and if it goes back into that Encase and Shatter dynamic that was introduced with the abilities. For example, let's take the new No Time to Explain, and let's say that it will also be a stasis type weapon. Makes sense. After all, I have a feeling that it's going to be the Season Pass weapon, given the fact that it's only available as a, air quote, pre-order bonus with editions of Destiny that have the Season Pass. It doesn't make sense to just make a weapon that is a pre-order bonus for 2 versions of the game and not all versions of the game. So I'm guessing it's tied to the Season Pass. Given that it's tied to the Season Pass then, it will very likely be many people's first interaction with the stasis ability as a damage type. So if we have some abilities that can encase enemies and some abilities that can shatter enemies, then why not weapons? For example, the No Time to Explain could, theoretically, with consecutive critical shots, encase enemies. while this new tractor cannon looking weapon will do bonus damage to encased enemies with the shatter mechanic. So raid strategy could legitimately be 3 people running around with no time to explain to encase enemies, and 3 people running around with this not portal gun to shatter enemies. You know, provided any of this works the way that I hope it works, because if it works the way that I hope it works, that would be fucking amazing. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling generous. But above all else, stay frosty.